Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. So a lot of people have been coming in, a lot of people pretty much consistently comes in and says, you know, I used to play in high school and I'm getting back into the game. And it's been like 15, 20 years, maybe a little more. I'm being a little generous. It's kind of like, you know, Back to the Future. It's like, well, back to the past. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So sponsoring my coffee dark roast of the day is Ivan Padilla. Ivan writes, "Thank you for your amazing content. As you speak slowly, it's perfect to practice my English listening skills. Greetings from Spain." Oh, well, thank you. I am so happy and glad that, you know, I've always wanted to be an English teacher. Unfortunately, kept getting C's in that class. You see? Thank you, Ivan, for the coffee. I appreciate it. If you want to be my dark roast piping hot coffee sponsor of the day, the network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. Thank you in advance. Okay. Hold on, let me see some coffee. All right. So, yeah, that English career would have lasted all of, 2 seconds. Anyways, okay. So everybody comes in and they're like, you haven't played in a long time. So what usually happens is they played when they're like 18 years old. They went off to college, forgot about the game, found a wife, got kids, took care of the kids. Kids, you know, some of them go into tennis, some of them don't. And the ones that are going into tennis, you know, they find that they're old hammers. You know, it's no more hammer time. Or they pull out one of these, which is still alive. You know, and when they bring these into me, I'm like, depends what you're doing, guys. Depends what you're doing. If you're just hitting with your little kid there, that's like 5 years old, 6 years old, perfectly fine. If you're gonna, you know, play a little more serious, we'll get you other things. But these are the questions that they kind of ask. You still have Wilson hammers? I mean, hammer time went out with the 90s, man. So, yeah, no more hammers. No more hammers. And the question that I get from both men and women that kind of surprises me, does that come in a different color? Well, you can go to the wilson.com site and go to their lab and pick the colors you want. It might take like 6 months, but you can choose and pick your color. Oh, and half of, like, actually all of them, I'll buy whatever color it is. But they always have to ask. I think Wilson did it once with like a woman's line back in the day, called the W line. That didn't do well at all. I mean, you got an Arrow Rafa color and you got a banana color. I mean, what else do you want here? It is what it is. Now, the other thing that they're wanting is, do they still make a 90 square inch racket or a Pro Staff Classic? When people ask me that question, I know we're going back 20 years. That's like I used to sell those rackets back in 1990. And I'm like, yeah, they don't make rackets like that anymore. They're no longer like a 2x4. I mean, this is as much of a 2x4 as you're gonna get today. So if you're of that era, continental grip, straight back, straight through, one grip for all your strokes, either this or its little lighter brother will probably suit you better, okay? Now, head heavy hammer gone. It's more like the modern day hammer is kind of like pure drive. We got ultras. So if you're looking for easy to use hammer style rackets, these are it. Okay, these are modern day hammer time. Okay, get these. So it's no longer heavy in the head. It's more kind of evenly balanced. It's actually pretty light in the head, so the racket kind of comes through for the modern stroke. Hammer would probably work today if Wilson's listening. Maybe not as extreme, but it'll probably work still. Okay, just to get you guys going a little bit more and make it easier for you. Hammer was great. Hammer was wonderful. The other question that I get asked, you got a 5/8 grip? Yeah, it depends on which racket. Like 5/8, as I've told you in the past, is almost extinct. Only a couple rackets are even made in 5/8, and one is the RF racket. So, because they know if you want heavy, you might have a big hand. You might be a big person, you know, like big, strong. Okay. The one question that I get posed all the time is when they pick up their rackets, does that come with a cover? Like, yeah, no, not really. So this cover came with the junior rackets or the Evo Drive lights, which, you know, I tell people it's for that 12-year-old. You know, they figure the kid's going to destroy the racket, so they need the cover to protect it. But for the adults, no more covers. And as I've told you guys, when we got covers, this is probably 10 plus years ago now, in my two places, we would throw away about 80 to 90% of those. Like, we couldn't give it away. People, you know, 9 out of 10 people wouldn't take it. They didn't want it. They had enough of covers or they had a bag. So we actually took them to Goodwill. After a while, Goodwill didn't take them. No, we don't want any more of these. Now that we don't give them away and the companies don't give them to us, people start asking for it again. You ain't getting a cover unless you're going to get a junior light racket. As you look behind me, there are two questions that I keep getting asked too. Do you not carry Prince? No, I don't carry Prince. Okay. They grew up with Prince. I totally get it. You can get Prince at Tennis Warehouse, and you can get Prince possibly at Dick's. I've seen it there, and maybe like a Big Five. They have an exclusive with Tennis Warehouse, so you can get Princes there. They're still made. They still add models. Tennis Warehouse is your place. The other question I get asked, Babolat makes rackets? Yeah, they make rackets. It's been 21, 22 years since they've made rackets. So that tells me that they haven't played in over 21, 22 years. They make rackets, and they are good rackets. Rafa uses them. Prince is at Tennis Warehouse. Babolat makes rackets. Is Prince synthetic still a thing? Yes, it is. But it's not a popular thing anymore. Maybe in pockets. I mean, synthetic gut is the #1 seller nationwide, just the basic synthetic gut, which I'm kind of still amazed at because there's so many other better strings out there. You know, polys are a thing. Polys are a thing now. And they're like, they don't understand what exactly a poly is. So I usually have to rip the package open and hand it to them. I was like, feel that. They're like, oh, that's stiff. Yeah, it is. What does that do? Well, it gives you more durability, but it gives you more power, spin. How does that work? Yeah, you got to hit hard with a lot of spin in order to make that polyester react. Okay. And I usually don't put them in the poly until they start breaking strings because I know most of the time they're going to hit flat anyways. Okay. So I may hybrid it down the road, but I'm not getting into this right now. Okay. So those are the questions that I get asked, especially from people that haven't kind of been in the game for 20 plus years. Are you one of those people? Well, I just answered those questions for you. All right. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Man, it's windy today. Am I at the right club? Where is this wind coming from? I should have restrung my racket. My eyes are so itchy. My socks don't quite. How am I going to deal with this wind? Man, it's windy today. I gotta make sure I tie Leonard is stringing those. Man, did I have enough coffee today? Why is it so freaking windy today? Where is that water bottle? Did I remember my this phone coming from? Where is my phone? Was I supposed to get my kid from school? Yeah, I think I lost my water. I don't need a water bottle. Battery life on my cell phone. Bring the right balls. I think I need a massage. Man, did I have enough coffee today? How am I going to deal with this wind? Sunscreen today? Let's open the Outtakes app and find my Zen.
As you prepare for your match, let's talk briefly about consistency.
Time to play.